Hey dudes and dudettes, Hardcore Kid here. And happy Hardcore Halloween season to all you guys. And well, I've decided to put together a special review just for you guys. A very, very special review. Do you guys happen to remember that fucked up CGI movie, Where the Dead Go to Die? Yeah, that movie. Well, the creator, Jimmy Screamerclauz, he made another one. In 2012, a pothead by the name of Jimmy Screamerclauz gained recognition with the release of his Cinema 4D anthology film, Where the Dead Go to Die. A hideously animated mindfuck consisting of shit CGI, non-existent story, sex, blood, gore, and brain rape. On top of that, Screamerclauz admitted he was high as a kite putting the thing together, which tells you all you need to know about his style. When I did my review in 2013, I gave it a positive review, or in this case a hardcore Screamerclauz rating, because I thought it was such a hardcore film. I was joking. Alright, you want to know my real thoughts on it? It's a big steaming pile of dog shit, alright? I mean, you have to be as fucked up in the head as Jimmy was to even think that this movie was good. And you know what the sad thing is? There are actually people out there who actually praise this film, thinking that it's deep and edgy. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of edge to it, alright. The edge of insanity. The edge of the toilet seat. The edge of your cerebellum that makes you think, what the fuck is this shit? But apparently Screamerclauz took my review to heart, which prompted him to make another shock horror movie a few months ago entitled When Blackbirds Fly. It uses the same shit CGI as WTD GTD did, and I'm pretty sure Jimmy was just as fucked up when he was putting this thing together as he did when he made his last movie. So if you enjoyed destroying your brain cells with Jimmy's last masterpiece, then get ready for another dose of brain freeze as we review When Blackbirds Fly. Roll the footage. Huh, this is different. This animation doesn't look too bad. We get some stop motion of a couple of blackbirds flying in front of some old school grainy footage thrown in. Of course that all goes out the window when you finally see the CG, which features some awkwardly animated blackbirds, as well as this guy wearing glasses 3 times too big for his head. Boy, after Alvin and the Chipmunks, you'd think David Cross would have tried to turn his career around. Anyway, this is Daryl. He and his wife Norma live in what looks like Pleasantville, but is actually referred to as Heaven. A calm, peaceful suburb where everything is black and white and dull, and everybody has pictures of Marshall Applewhite as wallpaper. Somehow I imagine the people who saw the test screenings for this thing committed suicide as soon as it was over. Maybe that's why there's not that many reviews for it. They didn't live to tell about it. So as Daryl and Norma are tending to an injured bird, a preacher, who I'm going to refer to as Black Pope, shows up on their doorstep to have the couple adopt a child.
Is this the home of Citizen Daryl and Citizen Norma?
Yes, sirree.
The two of you have been living in heaven for 20 years now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations, sir. Today is your lucky day. Your application for one child soul has been approved. So if you and your wife would like to join me, we have prepared a vehicle to go to the birthing center right now.
By the way, the voice actor for Black Pope is white. I may have mocked fake accents in the past, but a white guy voicing a black guy? Now that's racist.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker!
So check this shit out. In this community, sex has been forbidden. So how the hell do our heroes reproduce? Well, they go to some tripped out church where they're fed forbidden fruit, and then Daryl cuts the inside of his mouth and vomits blood into a goblet, and then Norma shoves the blade in her cooch and bleeds all over the place, and they give the blood to this weird sperm-looking thing, which eventually transfigures it into a human child. If drugs and candy were not responsible for this writing, then Dinesh D'Souza was the world's greatest filmmaker. Even I think Hillary's America was made under the influence of an illegal substance. Perhaps Twizzlers. So they named the boy Marius, and they raised like him as they would any newborn, teaching him to speak, proper etiquette, and dressing him up like a long-lost Ramon. Oh, and they constantly, and I mean constantly, tell him about the wondrous leader known as Cain. They watch some shitty TV show which has him kick the shit out of some she-monster known as the Evil One, and they even send him to a school where he's taught faith of Cain.
The Evil One and all her lies dwell behind that wall. Our Lord Cain built the wall to keep her out forever. You see, Cain and the Evil One were once a team. They built and founded heaven together. But our humble Lord Cain just couldn't tolerate her deceitful ways anymore. She wanted to use and exploit us. So Cain did what he had to do. He did it for us. He cast her out, that filth, so that we may live here in peace. Let us all thank Cain.
The God's Not Dead movies have certainly dropped in quality, haven't they?
Okay, son. Put him down.
Look at him fly.
You see, son, all life in heaven is equal. One creature is not more important than the other. We're all alive, and therefore we're all loved by God. And God's love is unconditional. So if you see one of God's creatures in danger, it's your duty to help it. Then, someday, it might help you back. Do you understand what I mean, Marius?
As you can tell, Daryl is quite the religious person. If you thought Ned Flanders was a God-loving saint, Daryl is the knight to the throne. He's so religious, he makes Kirk Cameron look atheist. And unfortunately, Daryl's religious beliefs are what also make him, well, crazy. I myself happen to be a Christian, but I do have to admit that there have been some religious nutjobs who are so into their tradition that they come up with the most ridiculous claims. Remember that guy from years ago, Estes Perkel? Remember he made that communist scare film where if you're an atheist and you don't turn to Christianity, you get murdered by commie soldiers? That's the kind of mentality that Daryl and just about everyone else in this movie has.
Will you come? Will you come? Will you come?
Eventually, Marius does learn to talk. His voice sounds like a demented Spike the Dragon on helium.
That's it. Look, right there. Right there. You didn't see it? Go see for yourself. Are you sure it's a good idea to go on the other side of the wall, Ian? I was just wondering, can animals talk?
By the way, I did check the credits at the end, and he is in fact voiced by a kid. And, apparently that kid is Joseph8276. He may be a creepy stalker with low standards, but he's still the Beast! Also at the school, he meets his love interest, Eden.
How nice of you to join us.
Sorry, Mr. Apple. I'm not as good as you. I never will be.
And given Jimmy's, treatment of children in his films, you know these two are going to have a very long, happy future together. Also, death by snafu. So with Marius fed up with people not shutting up about Cain, he follows a blackbird through the woods until he comes across a wall. As it's mentioned, heaven is closed off from the outside world with giant walls separating them. This is to protect the town from the Evil One. So basically, it's like Attack on Titan, where the heroes are isolated from the rest of the world, and the penis is rendered ambiguous. But Marius discovers a hole in the wall, and the land of black and white is illuminated by color, and the image of an injured cat. Marius finds Eden, who tries to help.
Who's there? Somebody? Hey! Hey there! My name's Eden! Are you alright?
Please! I'm in a lot of pain. I fell off the wall and broke my leg. Please come and save me before the evil one gets me. Please!
We need to help her! No, no!
Jesus Christ, Jimmy. It's bad enough I have to crank the volume all the way down to 2 bars, but is this really the kind of voices you're gonna give these things? These fuckers in the gas masks are Kane's Special Forces. They're the equivalent of the stormtroopers from Star Wars and the Terminator, in which they wear gas masks for no discernible reason, shoot at every fucking thing that moves, and have the worst fucking voices ever known to man. What are these things supposed to be, anyway? Malfunctioning astro zombies from Uranus? Why the gas masks? Anyway, fuck these guys. Marius and Eden decide to go back to the wall to help the kitten, only to be chased by those fucking guards again. They escape into the other world and run right into the cat.
You see the fruit in the bush? Eat some. It'll make you invisible.
And by invisible, I mean shit-faced. So the fruit causes the cat to turn into Boggy, monster of mighty ganja, who then summons a flock of birds to murder the guards a la George Stark. This scene would actually be quite satisfying, if it didn't sound like this. 2 bars. I swear. 2 fucking bars. I'm this close to making it 1. If it was 3, you guys would be deaf immediately. Just, why? Why even? Why bother? Why? So the kids follow the pussy from hell through Rainbow Bright Land until they find the evil one, crucified and being raped by tentacle monsters.
What are you doing out here? I'm trying to find my way back into the garden. A long time ago, God was a misfit.
Unfortunately, he and Danzig didn't get along. Now the website does refer to her as the evil one, but I'm just going to call her Cortana. That's really the first thing that comes to mind when I see this Honolulu. So she tells the kids about how she and this world came to be, and how she's not from around here. She's from another dimension!
She was delicate and sweet. You was gaze upon her once, and for the rest of your life she'd be the one that emerges from the darkness whenever you close your eyes. Oh, she was more beautiful than God. God learned something he never knew about before. Heartbreak.
Well, if you're going to commit the sin of being a non-monogamous whore, I'm sure God would be pretty pissed off at you. And if you ever wanted to see God beat the shit out of people, then this movie is for you. But you know, I gotta admit, I'm actually astonished here. Jimmy is doing what he was unable to do in his last film and actually give a character depth. He's actually trying to make us care about Cortana and the shit she had to go through. From being raped, to being abandoned by God, to getting impregnated by 8,000 sperm worms. Yeah, it's fucked up bullshit, but at least Screamerclauz is actually trying to make us show that she is in fact not evil and try to make us care about her. However, this also leads to a couple of problems. Number 1, this scene is long. It legit goes on for a good 10 minutes. That's about as long as most Naruto flashbacks. And you want to know how long this movie is? 2 hours and 4 minutes. Yeah, I've seen Pixar movies that were not this long. And if Jimmy had actually attempted to trim down some of this shit, it wouldn't be this long. But no. He was so high off his ass, he just had to keep throwing as much shit in as possible. Speaking of, after giving birth to all those slug baby things, Cortana is now given the task of raising them. And that includes a scene where we see a bunch of naked children dancing around. Fuck's sake, Jimmy, what are you trying to accomplish with this garbage? No, don't tell me you're trying to make it shocking, because it sure as fuck isn't. It's just showing that you have a massive boner for rendering this shit. Who the hell is this supposed to be aimed at? And to think that the first 20 minutes of this movie were actually watchable. So it's basically established that the cat is the real evil one. So Marius and Eden try to get the hell out of Dodge, but then another creature appears and kidnaps Eden. Marius manages to escape and the police bring him back home.
I'm very disappointed in you, son. How many times have I told you to not accidentally fall out of your window in the middle of the night and get into some late-night romantic adventure with the girl down the street that involves you outrunning the Oswald Evil Prevention Squad? There was an attack by the Evil One's minions a little while ago. Don't you know we're at an evil alert level magenta blue green circle square star?
Just keep him away from the windows until he learns how to sleep a little bit better.
Oh, you bet we will. Son, no windows for a month. No, that's not fair. All right, how about a week?
Are you even a real person? But just as Marius is about to head to bed, he vomits up one of the demons, which snowballs straight into Norma's mouth. Oh no, what's gonna happen next? Well, you're gonna have to find out in the next part, so stay tuned and beware. If you think this shit is messed up, just wait. It's about to get a whole lot worse.